Hi and welcome back to Morgan Reach TV for what is now episode 45. If you live in Birmingham and you're into sports and fitness, you probably know our next guest. In the studio with us is Jamie Harper, the man behind Just Move. Now Jamie didn't just open up another spot with some weights and treadmills, he's built an absolute powerhouse of the community right here in Birmingham, blending high level training with a brand that people genuinely want to be part of. Today we're talking about his actual journey from the initial spark to the day-to-day hustle of running a premium independent gym. We'll get into the reality of building a business from the ground up, the mistakes he's made along the way, how he's countered those mistakes, and what it really takes to stand out in a crowded market. Whether you're into fitness, trying to build your own business, or just want to hear from someone who gets things done. Please join me in welcoming Jamie Harper to Morgan Reach TV. Hi Jamie.
Hi Cam.
How
Thanks
you
for
doing?
having me on. Yeah,
No,
really good, thanks.
No problem at all. Yeah, did you come far today?
So I've come from Coventry today, came on the train because the Aston Villa parade today. I thought I don't want to risk the traffic. So
Yeah, wise move I think. It's going to be quite carnage. Obviously Villa won last night at the, it was last night wasn't it?
Yeah,
in
it was,
Europe,
yeah.
So the parade's on today and we're obviously in Birmingham City Centre, so well done to Villa and it's going to be quite busy today, so you probably did the right thing coming on the train.
I think so.
Yeah, awesome. So, quite a journey you've been on. When you say you come from Cov, because you live in Cov, don't you? And then
Yes.
your place is in Birmingham.
Yeah. So born and bred in Coventry, and I basically came to university in Birmingham about 18 years ago now.
You're giving away your age.
So I did, yeah. So I lived in Coventry up until 20 years old, and then moved over here for university. And I actually lived in Birmingham for 15 years.
Oh wow!
We just moved back about 18 months ago because we had a kid, and so my family is still there. So it just helps out having a bit of support from the family and raising a little tiny terror. So
awesome, that's really good. So you went to uni and stuff. What did you do at uni?
So I studied sports therapy.
Naturally.
It was a bit of a continuation from my fitness qualification, but I actually started my sort of career after school in engineering. So I started at Jaguar Cars, did an engineering apprenticeship there for 4 years, but just kind of got towards the end of it, found it just didn't give me any sort of spark, and I didn't really enjoy what I was doing there. I think we were kind of spun a bit of a yarn about you could go and work with the Formula One team. And I think the second year into my apprenticeship, the F1 team got disbanded. So it's a bit like,
great. Yeah.
So following the apprenticeship, I stuck it out for about 6 months, and then I just kind of found myself in a bit of a rut. I was kind of going through the motions, was turning up and not really enjoying it. Just felt like my own energy, my own kind of fitness was kind of falling away a little bit, and I just I thought I needed to make something change. So started my journey into training myself, got into martial arts, and then kind of made that a bit of a natural path into the industry then.
Yeah. So before that, like when you were at uni, when you were working at Jaguar before that as well, have you always been into fitness? Have you always kind of looked after yourself?
I was only until about 14. I was into like athletics. I used to run kind of my local sort of club in Coventry then, the Godiva Harriers. So I ran for 100 metres, 200 metres, and did a little bit of sort of long jump and triple jump as well.
Awesome.
But then 14 years old, got a few knee injuries, got a bit demotivated with it, and then pretty much did no other fitness or movement. I didn't even do PE at school until I started training again at around sort of 20 years old. So yeah, it was a big fall from what I used to do. And then I kind of got into like more just gaming and movies and that sort of stuff. So it was a bit of a 6-year lull. Yeah.
Excellent. So then you got back into it when you were 20?
Yeah.
Was that when you were at Jaguar or was that after?
It was, yeah. It was just kind of I think it was something to do because I just found myself, I was getting stuck into that little cycle and that little routine of going home, just locking myself away in my room, playing games, watching films. Weekend would come around, the typical kind of 18, 19-year-old lad going out to the pubs and clubs like every, 3-4 days a week. But I just found it was having a bit of a knock on my overall kind of energy and my mental well-being and stuff like that. So I thought it was just an easy kind of way to kind of get into looking after myself was to start the martial arts journey and have someone else kind of teach me things. I'd always been interested in it anyway. Used to love like the martial arts films. There was one called Ong Bak. It's like a Thai boxing film, but that was kind of a big inspiration for me to kind of get into Thai boxing.
And was that martial art that you did?
It was initially,
Thai boxing,
yeah. And then sort of fell into Brazilian jiu-jitsu from there, which was my my sort of main love, if you like. But yeah, just transitioned naturally then into wanting to train a bit more, wanting to have a bit more flexibility with my own routine. So personal training seemed like a natural transition to move into.
Yeah, fantastic. So here you are then. So you're at Jaguar, start getting fit and all that stuff. So when did you decide you wanted to do uni? You wanted to go into all that?
So it was actually the course I did for my personal training. It was broken into 12 weeks. The first 2 weeks were sort of your level 2 qualification. The next 5 was a 5-week personal training qualification. Then after that was a 5-week sports massage and sort of treatment and rehabilitation qualifications go with it as well.
Yeah.
But throughout the time, I actually enjoyed that side of things more. Being able to treat people, work around injuries, get people back on track with their movement after they kind of suffered in the gym and weren't training. So I kind of fell into that a little bit more. But my tutor on that course, he was actually a lecturer at UCB, and that's what brought me along to invest in a bit more time into the sports therapy side of things and taking that as a bit of a natural step then to go down that route, which is ironic because I don't use it at all anymore. It's kind of fell back into the fitness coaching and training, but it was it got me like, so obviously to a higher standard of education, gave me a great sort of skill set around working with everyday people who just, come to train with us, but have aches, pains, injuries. So we can incorporate all of that into the programs that we run now.
Awesome. So you say you went to university, you're doing all these courses, which sound really good. What happened then? What did you do then?
So university, so it got to the end of my degree, graduated, and actually it was my martial arts coach, my jiu-jitsu coach. He was opening a new gym just down the road from here, the Shell petrol station above Five Ways.
Yeah.
So his name's Braulio Esteemer. He's like multiple world champion. He's won everything there is in the sport. And throughout his kind of main career, I was doing all of his strength and conditioning for him, all of his kind of fitness and his rehab and sports massage, that sort of stuff. Wow. So when he opened this new gym, he asked me to come and help him run the strength and conditioning section there and bring their team up as well and do all their sort of coaching and training. So it was like it was a really lucky break at the time. Just kind of happened to fall into place. And that's what sort of led to us moving to Birmingham, running this facility for, I think it was nearly 3 years we were there, above Five Ways. And then just transitioning to my own sort of journey of gym ownership as opposed to just being a fitness instructor on the gym floor then. Prior to owning gyms, I was at Virgin Active, again, just down the road at Five Ways. It's now Nuffield, I think. Yeah. So I was there for 2 years while I was sort of still studying at uni. But this was kind of where I felt there was a gap in the market for both the clients themselves, but also for the trainers. So at the time at Virgin Active, they would basically charge the clients about £45 for a PT session. Yeah. I would get £11 of that.
Wow.
So I'd get 75, they would take 75% of it, but I was still responsible for the marketing, for building up the client base, for being on the gym floor, trying to interact with people, running free classes. So it just didn't make sense to me to, obviously it was good to have the space, that kind of membership to pull from,
and
but
to learn.
It just seemed like a bit of an unfair deal considering I had to do all the work to get that 25% of the cut. So it made sense to try and do my own thing from there.
Yeah, brilliant. What kind of age were you at this point? So how many years were you doing that?
So I started uni a little bit later after the apprenticeship. So I think I graduated when I was 20 years ago now. So I've been in the industry a while. So and then my first job in the industry was about 21 at Virgin Active, and that kind of took me to the end of uni. Yeah. And that's when it transitioned into the ownership of gyms and running my own thing then.
Okay, well, so as soon as you came out of uni, graduated, what gym did you open up at that point?
So at the time it was called Five Ways Fitness. It was just off the Five Ways Island. So it was, my first kind of foray into sort of gym ownership, if you like. But I kind of had a bit of an interest in sort of making brands and like playing around with logos and things like that. So I made making my own logo on like some really basic program. I think it was it might have been paint literally scrawled in and just, it didn't look great looking back at it, but it kind of formed the foundation. But also it kind of, it's going back a while now, so I'm going to have to remember the principles, but there was kind of 5 things that we focused on with people. So it's like their strength, their movement, nutrition, recovery, and flexibility. They were the 5 ways that we helped people to feel better long term.
Awesome.
And it just, it was like a nice little philosophy around the name as well. So a little play on words.
And the location.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Excellent. So how did you find all that? Yeah, setting all that up. Was it a bit daunting, scary?
It was pretty much straight into, I suppose, straight from uni into kind of becoming a business owner from the get go. So it was a challenge. It's all the things you don't really think about marketing the business, about kind of all the admin on the back end side of things, about kind of creating some sort of like experience for the members and the clients that we had. So it was a lot, but at the same time, I think it was a good, like trial by fire, I suppose, just a good opportunity to kind of put all these things together and start building something that had a bit more longevity than just being a coach on the gym floor.
Did you have any like training for that? Because obviously you didn't really do a business degree or anything. Or were you just kind of finding your way with it all?
Yeah, I think so over the first couple of years it was just fumbling away and just kind of figuring things out as we went along. Made a lot of mistakes. Like we used to charge way too little for what we did and what we delivered, because it's always been, although I've always really done group coaching as the main thing, it's always had like a personal element to it.
Yeah.
So I think the first packages I used to run was about £35 a month for unlimited training with myself, and it was like you just couldn't make ends meet back then. But at the time I was actually DJing a little bit as well, so that kind of kept the bills paid and whatnot.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it was literally trial by fire, sort of finding my feet with it. And it wasn't until I remember seeing an advert online for there's a couple of guys that ran a gym over in the States, and they kind of had a bit more of a system about how they ran small group coaching, small group personal training, and how they kind of packaged and priced things up. So the gym's called Results Fitness out there.
Okay.
The guy, Alan Cosgrove, is actually from Scotland, but he kind of nailed this system that seemed to work, and it seemed to draw people in, keep people engaged, and just made fitness more, I suppose, more accessible, because personal training, it's not cheap these days. I think, the good training now with experience, you're looking at sort of £40 to £60 for a single session. So sometimes more than that, especially in London, it can go up to £150 per session. But with the small group coaching, it kind of offsets the cost for people, but it also brings that element of community, of interaction, of flexibility for your own training. So that book there got me to still learn a little bit more about the business principles behind running a group coaching facility.
Yeah. So basically they became your coaches.
Yeah.
Indirectly.
Yeah, 100%.
Did you ever have any personal interaction with them, or was it all just their materials that you just bought into?
Yeah, so this was just their materials and their books, but then I did actually invest in some coaching with someone that had coached alongside them as well. So they run gyms out in Washington called Vigor Ground Fitness, and we actually had some one-to-one coaching with those guys, which again was invaluable. It taught me about sort of charging a bit more about what we're worth and creating a service that's worth charging more for. And
did you fly over there?
Unfortunately not. I would have loved to, but I didn't get over there. It was all kind of online at the time. But yeah, I would love to get out there, and cause they're still doing what they practiced back then. They're still doing it, and they've still got 15, 16, 17 years down the line, a really successful business. I think they're up to multiple sites now as well. They've got a site in Slovenia as well. So it's just, it's good to see that people in the industry are still making it work and actually like walking the walk. Because I think in the fitness industry, there's a lot of business coaches that have never owned gyms. They kind of fall into the business coaching side of things, but they haven't got that experience. So they can still teach a lot. But at the same time, I like to learn from someone who's actually in the trenches as well and wants to really nail down the service and create like a really valuable service as well.
Awesome. But it's good that you did that, going out, because a lot of people don't. Business owners, they kind of, they went along and they think they can learn it, or they think they can do it all on the job. So reaching out, trying to find different packages and different things, you probably didn't realise at the time, but it's probably the best thing you ever did. Yeah,
I think so. And I think it came probably from, obviously I had no experience in fitness prior to starting my PT courses and my degree. So I just found even in that environment, learning from other people, it was helping me to upskill a lot quicker. So it made sense to transfer that into the business realm as well, and just learn from people that have been there rather than trying to figure it all out on their own, all out on my own. So, yeah.
Coaching dream.
It is, literally. I'm so easy to sell to, I'll tell you that.
No, but it's good. It's very good, because then, like you said, it's shortcuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Easy pick up, because we meet a lot of business people, and the ones that kind of accelerate fastest are the ones that they do go out to courses, they learn from people, they learn from other people's experiences. You said it a minute ago, learning from people who are doing what you want to do. Yeah,
that's it. And I think it's the same in most areas, isn't it? Like even with the fitness journey as well, I think it's there's so many options and ideas and what people think is the right way to do fitness now that it gets overwhelming. We're in an era where there's no shortage of information. You've got multiple YouTube channels, Instagram pages, tons of gyms, so much content out there, but it's kind of paralyzing people to the point that it's just information overwhelm. So it just
OTT, isn't it?
Yeah. 100%.
No, it is, because obviously I'm talking from a consumer point of view.
Yeah.
And so now we're talking about it. Our phones are listening to us. All I'm going to say now is videos and like shorts and this and that. Like, do this with your arm 10 times a day, and like you get like built, you get shredded, and 100%. You won't, because it's like it's not suited to you, is it? And then that's like your diet and everything else that kind of comes into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I recognise that. So because it's what you're doing anyway, isn't it? You're a coach for people to learn on a personal level. Yeah. So why wouldn't you learn from someone in business or learn from someone like that and pay them?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's just having skin in the game, isn't it? And kind of showing that I value coaching as much as the next person, and it does really just help move you forwards a lot quicker.
Yeah, 100%. Is that how you found it? Has that helped you a lot?
Yeah, 100%. Because like I say, I think before then, if it wasn't, I'd probably still be charging 35 quid a month, scraping by and just kind of devaluing the service. And it's also, if you charge too little, you can't grow the thing you really want to grow. Yeah. So the reason we've been able to kind of invest and move on and kind of create bigger and better spaces is because we've been able to grow the business from it. But if I was still charging like sort of, the £35, I think we'd still be renting a small space in a small unit and just never being able to really progress the business. So it makes sense to learn and understand. And like you say, I didn't have a business background or business degree. I think from having, just taking that shortcut, I suppose, and just understanding what it takes, but learning from people that are doing it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, awesome. So when you say you're at Five Ways, getting back to your storyline, so you're at Five Ways, you're learning a lot from obviously all the other gym owners and stuff and the coaches. What happened with, did you close Five Ways down? Did you move it on? What was the kind of scenario with that? Yeah, so like fortunately we just got to the space where we built up enough of a clientele that we just needed a bit of a bigger space to move on to. Yeah, which is obviously a good problem to have. Yeah, it is, and my coach Braulio as well, he was wanting to move his own facility to a bigger space as well and get like a better space down in Highgate. So it was just a natural kind of transition for us to then look for another unit where we could kind of build on what we had already built. I think we had probably about 800 square foot in the first unit. So it wasn't a huge space. It was like really functional for what we wanted to deliver. But also one of the problems we had at the time was we were also sharing with like an MMA space upstairs, like sort of people coming in and chucking each other against cages and all kicking and punching all sorts of stuff. And the clientele that we were attracting was mainly kind of women who wanted to build their confidence up and felt a bit intimidated coming into that space. Yeah, of course. So it kind of made a bit of a natural transition to have a space where we could kind of control the environment, create somewhere that felt really comfortable to walk into, whether you're super experienced with the gym and super experienced with fitness or whether you're a complete beginner. So yes, we opened up our second site, rebranded, moved away from Five Ways. So we rebranded as Be Fast Fitness, and opened that up in Park Road in Hockley, just quite close to where Soho Tavern is. Yeah. And that was our second unit then. So it was a bigger space, about 2,000 square foot. Opened it with my wife, Sophie. And, that was our home for the next 9 years. Had you become a wife in that kind of period? So no, we only actually got married 5 years ago. So so awesome. It was, but we've been together. We met at university and we've been together. You're testing me now. I'm going to say 18 years this year. Don't watch this bit. 18 years I think it is this year. So brilliant. But it's flown by, but it was kind of a bit of a natural transition for her as well. So she moved down from Manchester. Obviously I had the opportunity to open that first gym. So she was working in hairdressing at the time. She got a job in the industry in hairdressing, but wasn't enjoying that and sort of followed my path, I suppose, in a way of moving away from an industry that you didn't enjoy to one that we could kind of build together then. So, awesome. So it's, it's a good journey. Yeah, fairy tale. Yeah, literally. Awesome. So here you are in Hockley then. Yeah. So you rebranded. Did it just keep growing from there? Was it, you had to crack the formula? So I think it was still kind of it was actually, I would say it was more a bit of the transition from Be Fast Fitness to Just Move. Was we kind of hit a bit of a roadblock, if I'm being honest, we were running the gym on our own. We had our son, we got married. So Soap was off on maternity at the time. So I found myself like quite quickly doing all of the things, wearing all of the hats. So I was trying to coach both ends of the day. I was trying to, run the business, look after people, do the sales, do the marketing, and just got a bit overwhelmed with it all, to be honest. So I knew that I needed a team in place. I knew I wanted to build a team where we could kind of be able to, share the workload, be able to work together and grow something a bit bigger. The facility at BFast was amazing. We built a really good community, and a lot of the members that sort of joined us there, they're still with us today in the new facility as well at Just Move. But we just wanted to build something that felt
a bit more premium, a bit of a nicer space. People could come like year round and feel really comfortable. The BFAS unit it was like an industrial warehouse unit.
Yeah.
Holes in the wall, freezing cold in winter, absolutely roasting in summer, no aircon, massive high ceilings that you couldn't really insulate.
Yeah.
So because our price point was always a bit more on like sort of, I suppose, the premium side of things, there was a bit of a disconnect. So we wanted to kind of open up a better space, but I knew I couldn't do it alone. So I actually approached one of my clients, David Swiley, who you met at the event as well, and talked to him about wanting to open up a space and would he want to go and partner to build something bigger and better, basically.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the transition into Just Move. At the time, he was really keen on the idea. Obviously, he saw what we'd built at BFast. He enjoyed the training and coaching with us. But his big sort of sticking point in terms of building the business was that if I went off sick, so I was still doing it on my own, the business just grinds to a halt.
Yeah.
So there's no one there to deliver the sessions. There's no one there to do like the kind of all the back end stuff. But he said, like, I know these two guys that I trained with throughout lockdown. They want to do the similar thing. Would you come and meet these guys and see if there's something that would work and build something together? And that's where it came from. So he introduced me to Scott and Troy. We opened where we met in the Brabazon suite, I think it was, down at the Belfry. So he took us down there. We had a few business meetings, just saw if we could kind of work together and build something. So it was a bit of a whirlwind. It literally all happened in about 6 months, moving, not even 6 months. It was 2 months to the day of having this first meeting. And then opened this gym, like a brand new partnership, people I didn't know. But it just felt like at the time, it felt like a good move and a good thing to kind of move towards. I knew I'd have the support with the business side of things. I had all the gym side of experience. They had a lot of kind of social media experience and things that I wasn't great at. And at the time, it felt like a kind of a bit of a natural transition to see if we could make something work and build a new business. And that's where Just Move was born from.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So when you're going back a step, when you found yourself wearing all the different hats and stuff, how did you cope with that?
I think it was working in terms of service delivery side of things. Yeah. Like I always hold myself to a standard of wanting to really create a great environment for people to come and train in. Yeah. And that was always the thing that got the most energy, but I was finding I was just too exhausted to do all the other side of things then, and like especially the sales and marketing. And if I'd been coaching from early in the morning and then finishing late at night and have to get home, pick up the phones, make calls, like, and just squeeze them in here and there, I was just finding that was the bit that was sort of really tiring me out. So the business kind of plateaued for a little bit in terms of growth. Yeah. And I think that's what I knew then it just makes sense to kind of be able to have a proper team that could then, we could work together and build something.
Out the roles,
exactly.
And scale it up.
Yeah, 100%.
Where, at that point, where were you getting, because obviously you're growing and you're filling up the spaces. Where was your client acquisition coming from? How were you getting the word out?
Yeah, so it's all pretty much been social media based. Instagram, Meta ads, Facebook ads, that's always been the sort of go-to. So when I first took on these initial mentorships, these like kind of the business courses and the learning the business side of things. Yeah. The Facebook advertising especially was quite new at the time. And that was something that really kind of was like people getting great traction. They were getting sort of inquiries for maybe £3-4 for a lead coming through. Yeah. And that was a bit of a natural transition then to kind of start our own campaigns. But that's always been my go-to. And I feel like I've kind of missed out on a bit of that kind of face-to-face connection, the community events and that side of things. So it's been, it's worked for us and it's helped us to build and grow. But obviously as a local business, we've got a facility, we've got a space. It makes sense for us now to kind of really reach out and do a lot more face-to-face work and actually get ourselves known in the sort of local area and community. And just, I think, find and build connections more easily. Yeah. Like if you meet people face to face at these events, you get a bond with someone straight away.
Get the relationship. Yeah. That's how we met.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that through networking and
here you are today.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Now look at the opportunities that come from it. But it's social media can be a bit of a slow burn because there's so much out there and like there's kind of quite a lot of like fake stuff online as well.
Information highway now.
Yeah, it is. So it's hard to decipher like what's real, what's fake. Is the person you're investing in, are they really who they are, or is it like is it a bit of smoke and mirrors? So I think that's why people, rightly so, are a bit more apprehensive these days to just kind of see something online and go and join it. In the early days, it happened quite quickly and quite naturally, but now I think we have to, keep up with the content. We have to kind of keep sort of putting stuff out on a regular basis so people know that where we are, what we do. And it's, it's definitely a longer game online now. So I think having multiple channels is definitely the future for the growth of Just Move.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Obviously with our marketing. That's what we always tell our clients as well.
Yeah.
So it's like 11, you have to have 11 encounters, or some studies say 7.
Yeah.
Some say 11, like encounters with a brand or a channel.
Yeah.
To become trusting of it. And I think that's actually going to increase with time. Obviously with so much information getting chucked at everyone all the time. So all these different mediums, people are confused.
Yeah, 100%.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think so. Like there's so many more options. Like getting into anything these days, there's so much more choice than when we started our gym sort of 14 years ago. I think the first gym was 14, 15 years ago now. So like it's changed a lot in that time already.
It's an intense competition. You're in a very competitive market, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. And I think for us, a lot of the competition, I actually feel like we're in quite a lucky space. I don't feel like there's a massive competition for what we do specifically at Just Move.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've not been great at getting the message out there of why it does differ to your normal gyms or your one-to-one PT. So that's where we're really kind of doubling down this year on making people more aware of what we do.
Yeah, definitely. So when you were moving to Just Move and the new premises, were you quite particular about what you wanted? Obviously from your learning experience.
Yeah, I'd say so. There was always a vision. So there was always a vision to have like a premium space, somewhere where someone could walk in. It's like, it's nice, it's clean, it's like quite an open space. So I think sometimes people walk through the doors and they're surprised that there's not tons of equipment there. Yeah. It's all kind of set off to the sides, but for us, like the space is the premium because it allows us to kind of be really versatile with it. People have got plenty of space to move around. It doesn't feel kind of cramped. It doesn't feel like you're on top of each other. And it's like, you can just make the space work a lot better when you've got that flexibility.
Yeah.
So again, that kind of, a lot of that model came from having some in-person coaching with, a guy called Jean-Claude Vacassin who owns gyms in London. So he owns a franchise, well, like a small group of gyms now called Foundry Fit. So it's different to the Foundry that's based in the Midlands. They've got sort of bigger chain gyms. He's very much a small group personal training facility as well. And they just found that this system of having space, getting people into small groups, working as a bit of a team, it was just really kind of taking off and giving people, like I say, more flexibility, more interaction. They get the personal touch and the customization of the journey. But at the same time, it's that camaraderie as well. And it's not sometimes the awkwardness of one-to-one PT. I don't know if you ever had like a one-to-one personal trainer or anything, but it's like, it can be, it can be awkward. But it can be intense. And it's, sometimes like with one-to-one coaching, the longer someone stays with you, the more familiar you get, the more it turns into just a little bit of a conversation, like how's your day? What's the weather like? And this sort of stuff. And it takes away from the core of why you joined. And that's not always a bad thing, but we found that sometimes the experience and the actual training output was suffering because of that. So actually, when you throw people into a room, they still have a coach, but they've got other people to interact with and train and push each other. I think with the group PT, there's that natural sort of element of like people trying to support each other, but also a little bit of like, in a way, I don't want to scare people up, a little bit like sort of competition and camaraderie between people G each other up a little bit and like kind of get each other to kind of go that little bit further. And that actually we found gets people better results.
As well,
it is, yeah. Like you get a group of people together. If someone doesn't show up, like someone else on the group is messaging, "Oh, where were you this morning? Like we were waiting for you." And it's really nice building that little community element to it as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I accept that way. It's because you use that format in other things, like other training things, even in business groups, accountability groups and stuff. So it makes sense to use it for personal fitness, where it's actually more difficult. Yeah. Because people will shy away from it. They'll be like, "Oh, no, I'm not going to go this week. I'm going to have that second kick at and, watch a movie on Netflix instead."
No, it's easily done. And I think, like you say, that accountability side of things is huge because it's what keeps people coming back for more. And I think with the industry and what we see a lot online these days, it kind of, there's like a message that fitness has to be intense and extreme. And like, there's all these challenges. Like there's one called 75 hard, which is 75 days of training twice a day. You can't eat sugar or dairy or gluten or this or that. And it just creates this vision of fitness that it's the only way to get results is through these extremes.
It's like HIIT.
But exactly. And it just doesn't work for like most people. people can stick to it for a little bit and then it just, they relapse and go back to kind of old habits and stuff, where if you can just find somewhere where you can stay consistent, make it enjoyable, make
and
it sort of part of your routine.
around it, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Lifestyle's massive.
From talking about that, taking into account your experience of stuff, obviously you mentioned when you were a young lad or younger, you went out pubbing and clubbing and doing all that stuff because that was kind of the social scene back then. Yeah. Are gyms the new clubs?
I definitely think it is getting that way. I think especially with cost of living and things like that, I think we've found people that join us, they've started to value less the amount it actually costs to go for a meal out and get some drinks with it.
Yeah.
I suppose people are valuing that a little bit less. People are more health conscious, especially since COVID and lockdown and things like that. We find that people are coming through that are way more conscious of like long-term health, way more interested in kind of investing in themselves and their own kind of longevity. And I think that's sort of the future of the industry really, is this whole resilience, longevity, lifestyle change. And we're moving slowly away from like kind of the short, quick fix things. We used to see a lot of these like detox programs and cleanse programs, and I don't really hear about them as much anymore. Again, I'll probably get advertised to it now because we talked about it on the podcast, but it seems that people are definitely moving away from that side of things, and they're not looking for the quick fixes. It's more about the just having something that kind of keeps you on track, but the enjoyable side of fitness as well, which keeps people in that little community, in that little group. It's not just gyms like what we've got at Just Move. It's, like walking groups, running clubs, all these sorts of things. They're really having a massive uptick at the minute. So I think that's a really powerful,
it's great.
sort of sign for the future.
Cause you mentioned like with your little one, my lads are like, one's the eldest is 13. And I've got nephews who are like 17 and 21. Yeah. And seeing the differences in those guys, like the lads especially, because I can obviously directly relate what we used to get up to when we were younger, and like what their trends were back then and what they're doing. It's polar opposites, in a positive way. Very good way, like, because there used to be a lot of negative influences around us when we were younger. The wave of the different things, the bad things that used to come about, but the younger kids now, they are health conscious. It's kind of the Gymshark movement, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. They've had a really positive impact on it. And it's the same, my brother's 21 and he never really goes out drinking anymore. He's started cycling more recently, and he likes to go out and do things at the weekends and that. And it's definitely the younger generation are way more health conscious. I think your bigger chain gyms, like your Pure gyms and places like that, there's a massive uptake in sort of people training from teenage upwards. One of my best mates.
He's 13, he's doing my head in. He keeps saying, find me a gym that I can go to. And to be honest, every gym that I've asked at, like a local choice in Solihull, 16 plus. Yeah. The vast majority, or they have to be supervised, or do you know what I mean? So obviously you can't supervise them all the time. Yeah. He wants to go independently, and it's like, you can't yet, mate, you got to wait till you're 16. Yeah, it's tough. Now he's saying, can we buy stuff at home?
Yeah, nice.
So it's like, okay, fork out for that now, and then you'll probably use it for 3 months. In the market now. Exactly.
I think there's a big gap for that for sure. And there's, I'm not sure if you're familiar with an event called High Rocks. It's a big sort of fitness competition that's just blown up massively over the last sort of 4 or 5 years. But they've actually introduced recently like a kids division, because young kids are finding like a nice another avenue of competitive fitness, but it's like it's accessible to like way more like levels, way more age groups, and it's like a really nice, it's good to see it. It's good. And I think that's probably something we do need to do more of at Just Move, is engaging with the younger communities and getting people into fitness from a younger age. It's actually a bit of a personal mission of mine as well, because obviously being a dad to a young lad, I think it's really important that he kind of doesn't grow up in this era of fitness of where it's all about how you look and, the Instagram selfies and that sort of stuff. Yeah. That's the side of the industry that I find is quite damaging at the minute. Even one of my nieces, she's very like aware and sort of self-conscious of how she looks because of what she sees on social media, the filtering, the kind of like, doctoring pictures and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I just want to kind of create my sort of version of fitness where especially the younger generations can start looking at, I suppose, a way that you don't need to focus on just on what your body looks like. It's more what it's capable of and what it can do and all the amazing things that you can get through fitness. Yeah. And I think the more we can kind of push that message and that narrative, the better it's going to be for long term, for mental health and that side of things. So I think it's great that there's these entities like High Rocks doing their kids programs where it's more about kind of getting fitter, getting stronger, having little times that you aim for in your competitions and improving on that, rather than it just being about the kind of the scale weight or the, the looks and the pictures and that sort of stuff. stuff. I think it's a really important message to spread.
100%. I agree with that. And I think, I am seeing that with my lads as well. It is more about, my 13-year-old, he actually, I quite like eating junk food with them and stuff because it gives me an excuse to do it as well. Like eating chicken and like you get the kind of desserts on and stuff. He said no last week.
Okay, wow.
He actually said, like, first time ever, he's a bit of a cake monster.
Yeah.
And he's like, right, should we get this? Should we do this? Should we eat the chocolate? And he's like, I know, Dad, I've got to watch my sugar intake.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
You're 13, man.
Yeah, they're becoming way more conscious.
No, but I didn't say that. I said, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good you're thinking like that.
Yeah.
But it shows you the impact. Which is a great thing. It's a positive thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because we didn't care when we were that age. We ate everything in sight.
That was literally my journey.
3 Easter eggs, yeah.
So I remember that in school I used to, so when I stopped the training and the athletics, I actually, I remember I used to be the snack guy at school. So I would take in, I'd like a multi-pack of crisps, multi-pack of chocolate bars. Mum and Dad would probably go mental because eating them out of house at home. But, it was like, it was just, I wasn't really conscious of it. I didn't really think about it, but I think it is. There's a lot more awareness around it now.
But what you just said there, you've always been quite entrepreneurial then.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. So I remember my first foray into business was we used to get these 2p sherbet straws. I used to go to school in the morning with my pound pocket money. I'd buy like 50 of them and I'd go and sell them for 10p in the playground. Awesome. So that was the first little hustle. And then secondary school, the second little thing I ran was, it was when, it was Napster, wasn't it? And LimeWire, when those kind of download services started coming around. I was the only kid in school that had a CD burner because my dad bought one. So I was the music guy then, and like my mates would like buy a CD off me for like $2-3 quid.
You went into like DJing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
did that come from your family? Are your family are they in business themselves or?
They're not actually, no. So, my mum was in business travel at the time. My dad's always been he actually worked at Jaguar in his younger years. Yeah. And then for the last kind of, I want to say 30 odd years, he's been into, a train driver, drives freight trains. So it's quite strange. Like me and Soph talk about this quite a bit, but I'm like, a bit of an odd one in the family, a random one in that.
Nah, do you know what? I don't know if you see many of the episodes, but it's something, this is part of the mission of but we're trying to find what that is. Yeah. Because it just appears.
Yeah.
And like, you just, like, with love for you, for example, like you can see that your dad influenced you into going to work for Jaguar because it's a career for life. Yeah. It's structured because he did a good thing for you. Yeah. They wanted the best for you, like to basically go into Jaguar, nice and stable. Yeah. Learn a skill for life. Yeah. And then you'll never be hard at for work. Even if Jaguar, the brands go up and down, but like there'll be another one, there'll be another one. Everyone needs cars, some mode of transport. So you see what he's doing. Yeah. And obviously with his career, the way he's gone from Jaguar to National Rail. Is it National Rail? Is it like a private
it's
company?
Currently Freightliner.
Freightliner, yeah. But again, it's kind of a job for life, isn't it? It's a good, stable, hats off. Yeah. It's excellent. So you can see what he's trying to do, but
100%.
You broke away.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know where that came from. It's weird.
Did they support you though?
They were worried at the time because, like you say, it's stepping away from that stable career, and it's like, right, I'm done. I'm gonna get a loan out and buy this fitness course and like learn to be a trainer. I think at the time they were like, you're literally leaving a stable job, you've got a career, you've got like an engineering pathway laid out for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So they were nervous and they were worried, but I think at the same time they could see that I wasn't happy with what I was doing. They could kind of see my personality was changing a little bit. I was becoming a bit more withdrawn and stuff like that. So I think actually though, although they were worried about the financial side of things, because I suppose it come from their parents as well, like people having stable jobs and having that career pathway. My granddad was an engineer at Land Rover at the time as well when I was young.
So it's quite structured.
Yeah.
Is that because Coventry's built around industry?
Yeah, 100%
a lot of Coventry is,
it was Peugeot, it was Jaguar, it was a big engineering and kind of automotive engineering city. Yeah. So they had a big sort of careers department within the schools there. So like the Jaguar careers team would come down and sell you the dream of the F1 lifestyle and all this. Yeah. So, I think it made sense at the time, but I think I suppose you find your own path with these things and you find your own way. And I'm just glad that whatever that spark was, that maybe you want to take a different route.
Think back to your teenage years. Who did you meet, or what did you do? Who gave you that belief that you could do it?
It was actually my best mate. We'd gone on a lads' holiday to Cyprus, Protaras, I think it's called in Cyprus.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
You were aware there's a church on top of a hill. in the background. It's like you climb up and there's this tiny little church on the hillside.
We've been around mopeds around most of that.
Yeah. Well, it's that was literally like I think I was still in Jaguar at the time, and we went up to the top of the hill, just having a bit of a reflection, a bit of a heart to heart on life and stuff like that. And I kind of told him, I'm not feeling what I'm doing at the minute. Like I just feel like I'm in the wrong path. I need to do something different. And he knew I'd kind of been interested in like sort of martial arts and kickboxing and just like having the interest in watching it. He was like, why don't you just do it? Just start something. Just get out of like the rut you're in at the minute and just go and do something different and see what comes of it. And that conversation literally is what sort of spiraled then, and got back, found a club to train at. And that's kind of where the journey started for me. So,
and was it, you obviously mentioned the kind of martial arts owner.
Yeah.
The one that obviously you got a job with then.
Yes.
Obviously he was a self-employed.
Yeah.
And martial art champion.
Yes.
So I bet he was a big inspiration for you.
Yeah, he was. And actually my first coaches were based in Coventry. So Pindi and Lucky Madahar, and they'd come from like a sort of traditional martial arts background, into the Thai boxing, into the grappling side of things. But they were huge influences as well. And they like really kind of, I suppose they saw something in me that they were always like really encouraging. I think I went from doing no exercise for the last 6 years to like training 5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And I became really close friends with like Pindi, the younger coach as well, because he was similar age to me. And I think we just kind of created that really sort of close bond. And that's where it sort of led to that point of wanting to train more and kind of making a career of it. I saw how he was building his school and how, I suppose that probably was actually the catalyst, seeing how they created this community of people that came together, all different backgrounds, all different ages, all different kind of abilities, but they created something really special in this space. So, I think that's probably where the initial
seeds came from.
Spark came from. Yeah.
No, it was a great thing.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Yeah.
So no, perfect. So obviously we met. You did a fantastic networking event. Mm-hmm. So, and you obviously spoke about it before that you obviously want to open up your space.
Yeah.
How's that all going? Because obviously you've done the first one. When's the next one? Is the one coming up?
The next event?
Yeah.
Yes, we've got one on June 18th. We're going to run that for same sort of time. We did like a business networking lunch.
Yeah.
I think when we first put it out there with the British Heart Foundation and the Asian Business Board event, I think people weren't sure how that would work. Like having a networking event in a gym, are we going to have to come in lycra and get sweaty in that? But, because we've got a great space for it, it's a nice sort of clean, like open space. It makes sense to kind of be able to bring people into it that might be a little bit kind of unaware of what we do, but how like is a different style of gym as well. So it's just, I think the British Heart Foundation collaboration came about off the back of last year's conference. So it was a great event to kind of get to meet some people, see what was happening with the Asian Business Board, and getting to meet people that were kind of trying to make moves in the space and make people more aware of heart health and all the statistics around heart health for South Asians especially. So we had that kind of natural collaboration there to be able to kind of build something with Mabs Ali was the one that sort of helped us set it up. He's been great. He's kind of really supported us throughout. We've met him a few times. He's come down to the gym to see the space. And he just really got on with us and liked what we were kind of doing in this space and wanted to kind of build something that we could help each other out on basically.
Yeah.
But I think from the networking side of things, again, it's a bit of a personal mission to be able to spread a better message around fitness and health and how it doesn't always have to be extreme. It can be like small changes over like a longer period of time can like amount to massive results for anyone. Talking a bit more about the longevity side of things and letting people know that fitness can be fun. It doesn't have to be like hardcore or lonely or boring. So having the chance to spread that message in that kind of professional environment is really powerful for us as well. I think the sort of naturally the audience we've kind of curated does tend to be a lot of sort of professionals, business owners, shift workers, people that kind of want to be able to fit health into their routine, but are short on time, perhaps don't want to have to think they've got a million other decisions to make in life and business and family. And we can kind of take care of that side of things when it comes to training, nutrition, lifestyle, that sort of stuff. And we can sort of almost be their consultants, I suppose. They just have to book the sessions, turn up and train. But I think because it is a bit more of a premium price point for the service, it's very much a personal training service delivered in small groups. That tends to be where most of our sort of membership and our clientele sit, is in that kind of professional. They have a bit more expendable income. They want to be able to invest in their longer term health, whether that is for managing stress within the business or career, being able to kind of keep their energy sharp and keep on top of their game for their own sort of careers as well. So being able to build more events like this and bring more people of a similar sort of mindset into the space, I think it's a really powerful thing that we can create. So
No, it was inspiring to see, to be honest. And you know what? It struck me, because obviously I was there at the event as when we met. It was the caliber of people that were there.
Yeah.
And the actual people that I know already through other external networks, but they're members of yours.
Yeah.
They're part of your community.
Yeah.
And I respect them a lot. They're the good people.
Yeah, sure.
And so it's like, kind of like, oh, 2 and 2. That's how they do well. They stay sharp, because obviously they're part of your, I wouldn't even say gym, it's community.
It is, yeah.
It's the movement, yeah.
Yeah, I think we do sell ourselves short when we call it a gym, because it is, like you say, very much, it's more of it's almost like a little family environment, really. And it's
it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it just creates something a bit more, like I say, something a bit more long lasting, because of that kind of people come make great connections. The amount of people that have done amazing things with each other from the conversations within those four walls is like, it's really nice to see. We've had members supporting events. We have one of our members, Elaine. She's been amazing in supporting, one of our other members, Cardella, just ran London Marathon, and it's really hard to get tickets. Brilliant. I think there's 100,000 tickets and like way over 1 million people that apply for it.
Applications,
But obviously charity spaces do come up, but you have to raise a certain amount. So her business is, it basically helps systemize charities and does like kind of the back end CRM work for charities. So she has partnered up with people. She, as part of her, company brand and guidelines, they donate a certain amount to charities each year. So her business supported Cardella in her marathon journey, and just these little connections that come. It's it's really special.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. But it was really good for you all, and hats off to you guys. You've created a really nice system. How long have you been open there now with that?
2 years has just moved, just over 2
really?
years.
It's still brand spanking, isn't it?
It's Feb 2024 we opened.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, and how's it gone? How's it grown? Like, since you've been there, has it been a good location for you?
The location's great. I think, like I said, I think the biggest thing we need to do now is just get the name out there more and just really sort of capitalise on the space. So we're trying a lot of different things at the minute to just highlight what we do. It definitely needs to be more on the map in terms of the service that we deliver, because I still think it is quite unique what we offer in Birmingham, this kind of small group personalised coaching, this community aspect. There are other people doing things similar in the space, but I don't think there's anyone really shouting about that style of training. So I think we've got still quite a unique sort of space in the market to be able to really sort of grow that space and get people into their personalized journeys, but within that team environment. But yeah, it's been good, but I do think we need to kind of really pull a few things together now in terms of like the marketing, the brand messaging, the overall kind of direction and vision for where we're taking it and who we're working for and who we deliver the service to. So I think if anything, the first 2 years have been a bit more about kind of establishing the sort of foothold in the space, establishing the systems, obviously bringing a brand new team together was like one of the big things that was kind of new to all of us at the time. So I think now the next steps moving forward is just really cementing that mission, that vision, that kind of who we're working for. And I think that's what's going to take us to the next level now, because ideally, like the vision is to go multiple sites. We want to be able to kind of spread our message of fitness around Birmingham. So we're central at the minute in Aston, but we'd love to have like spaces over Solihull Way, Sutton Coldfield Way, maybe out towards Kings Norton, and just keep sort of growing these hubs and these communities around the city. And I think that's how we will have more impact and change more lives. Because I think it's not just the person that trains with us that's affected, it's how their energy shows up for the people around them, their families, their teams, kind of teams,
work environments.
It makes a big impact and a big ripple, even if it's not directly tangible on that side of things. Because
it's inspiration, isn't it? Because we all see it and we're all like, oh, it's Me Too kind of psychology.
100%. Yeah, it is.
Join on.
Yeah, it does. It makes a big difference. But I think, like I say, like going back to the marketing, a lot of it's been Facebook and Meta and not getting face to face enough. Whereas it is very much a relationship building business that we're in,
and you have to show that relationship through. Cause obviously, ultimately, people do business with people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So and I think that's one of your strong points, because obviously your personality is good, like your backstory is really excellent, like your motivations and stuff. So, but it's getting that out there, and I think with the networking events that you did, because I was positively surprised by it, because I did, even though we'll help support it through the British Heart Foundation. It was it linked very well to obviously heart health and everything else. But then when we actually got there, the business aspects, the look and feel of the place and everything, it just fitted really well with business, because you got a real premium feel to it, which obviously that's your objective. So no, it's great. Look forward to the next event.
Appreciate it. Thank you. It'll be good. It'll be fun. It'll be. I think what we want to do as well is we'll have like just slightly different elements to it. Like we want to introduce like a little panel of people that are kind of not just training with our gym, but how kind of fitness supports their business and their careers and their kind of, keeps them sharp, keeps them engaged, keeps them like sort of dealing and managing with like stress and all these sorts of things, because business does get stressful, doesn't it? It's a constant thing on your mind. So it'd be great to hear from other people's experiences of like how it supports them in their journeys as well. And that's what we want to really push out, these sort of stories. And again, just inspire more people through those stories rather than it being like this kind of your typical, I think at the minute content for fitness on Instagram is very much, it's like short, sharp, snappy. It's got to look cool and like exciting, but the day-to-day stuff of fitness and the day-to-day of like results that last is it's not always the exciting stuff. It's just showing up consistently. It's kind of, doing the little things on a consistent basis. That's what gets people to change their life for the long term. So I think the more we can kind of promote that, the better, really.
Because you still kind of follow, obviously the 5 ways. You spoke about it before, the different areas. Yeah. Did you kind of cover everything, like nutrition as well, and like diet advice and everything like that?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So, we try and create education around the whole journey as well. Because as much as we want people to stay with us, we want them to stay with us because they love what we do, not because they need us. Because for us, part of the kind of role is educating people on how to make this last long term, because it might be that filters down to someone in their family, like maybe someone that doesn't live nearby. But if we can teach someone like how to train and how to kind of progress their physical side in the gym, if we can teach them how to manage like the lifestyle and the stress and sleep and daily activity, if we can teach them about nutrition, then it makes it more easy to stick to for the long term then, rather than being, here's a plan, follow it to the T. And then when you can't follow it anymore, it all unravels. I think it's really important that we do have that kind of, create that autonomy side of things, get people to understand how to be able to motivate themselves a bit more, or even if it's not motivation, it's just how to kind of keep going when motivation dips off. So that is a big part of the fitness journey. It does, it's the same with, same with business, isn't it? Like you have these peaks and troughs, and you have moments where you've got all these amazing ideas and you put them all into action, and then something will come up, the brakes will be hit, but it's how you keep going and keep facing those challenges that keeps us moving forwards. It's exactly the same with fitness and your health as well. So
100%. So you obviously mentioned the next steps, obviously looking at multiple locations. Where are you at the moment with your current site in terms of utilization? When will you max out there?
It's quite a big space for the service that we run. So realistically, we've got around in total, including like recurring membership and trial members, we've got about 100 people on board at the moment. But really we could do probably 200 to 250 members in that space and be able to still create like a really quality service. But we've got a long way to go before we max this site out. But it can all turn around quite quickly as well. I think once we get that sort of marketing and message down, that vision and everything together, I think it'll really start to snowball now. Obviously getting ourselves out more around Birmingham is really important for that as well. But the space that we've got that's kind of always going to be our HQ. And I think maybe if we were to open second and third location, we probably could do it on a smaller scale. We've got the model now. We could open up like pods. A slightly smaller space, have the pods there, and just create something that's, I suppose just a smaller version of what we've got, but probably easier to manage for an external team as well. But we're just kind of the benchmark and the blueprint for everything that we filter out then. So I think that's kind
makes sense. So since you've been doing, obviously part of business is getting out there and doing more. And same as fitness. Since you started this, because how long have you, when obviously your old marketing model and customer acquisition and stuff at your old place, with your new approach, like with the networking events, doing things like this, how are you finding it? What's been the result so far?
I think in terms of at the minute, it's just brand awareness is the biggest thing for us, getting people to know that we are here and this is what we do. That's the most important thing. So the networking event was great because I met yourself there. We had a good connection straight away. We talked about business. We talked about kind of obviously coming onto the podcast and working on, just building those future relationships. And for me at the minute, I'm not in a rush. I think that's the same with, again, same with fitness journeys. I think everyone kind of wants to get the results now, but actually if you build that solid foundation first, that's where the longevity comes from with it.
I think meaningful relationships.
100%. It's those deeper connections, meeting people that you really kind of can work with and relate to like long term. I think that's what I'm finding is really important at the minute, and I think that's what has been the biggest sort of return from these face-to-face events. It's creating opportunities like this to come onto Morgan Reach TV. It's created opportunities like being able to set up future networking events at the gym. We've been invited to award shows already and things like that. So I think it's just gonna have a snowball effect if we just keep that momentum up. And I think it will, like I say, long term, it will sort of establish us within that professional community that we are someone that can be trusted, and we've got a space that is it can deliver what someone needs who is busy, short of time, but still wants to.
It's compatible with their life, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
You've tailored it exactly how people in the professional space need.
Yeah, that's it.
No, it's awesome. Okay, that's really good. What would you say to someone looking to start out in business, or even within the fitness world? Mm-hmm. What would you say to someone, say you 20 years ago, or 25 years ago?
I think if I was to meet my younger self now, I would definitely think find your, and it's hard when you're first starting out your career, but I'd say play the long game, find sort of your way of doing things, because there's so many ways to do fitness. But I think in this world, with all the kind of different competition, the different programs, the different gyms, you do need to have a little bit of a unique spin on it. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to hyper target on a certain person or a certain clientele or a certain way of doing things. But I'd say it's important to stand for something. And for us, like it's very much standing on that message of, we want people to be fitter and healthier for life. It's not a quick fix. We want people to kind of be able to take their fitness and take that newfound strength and energy and be able to make that work in your life outside of the gym. So I think if you can find your version of fitness and really kind of find that message and find why you do things, that's going to make everything else so much more natural. And you're not forcing like your messaging, you're not forcing your content, you're not forcing the way you deliver things. It just becomes a natural transition. I think for myself, the strength and the fitness and the training in the gym has always been to facilitate what I can do outside of it. So whether it was in my earlier days competing in martial arts, but now it's more like having the energy to run around after my lad, or just, be able to kind of keep up with him. We took him to a parkour class this morning. He was jumping around the room and stuff. It's hard work keeping up with him. And he's only 2 at the minute, so he's only going to get more energetic. So,
starting him young then.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's like, it's just understanding that fitness can be a part of your life without it taking over your whole life. And I think it's, I think for me, that's a really important message to spread. It doesn't have to be your only personality trait. You can have interests outside of fitness. And I think that's an important thing to spread on that side of things. And then I suppose from the business side of things, just, I think if I was to go back to 20 years ago, I think I'd definitely say, don't be scared to put your voice out there. It can be daunting at first. It can be awkward putting yourself on screen, on camera. But like I say, I know some absolutely amazing coaches, but no one would know how great they are because they don't get out and speak about themselves. And like, it's actually really sad. I think it's almost like an 80% dropout rate in the fitness industry of people becoming a coach and then dropping out because they can't make it work as a business and a career. And I think a lot of that comes down to not getting the message out there, not kind of putting themselves out there, not showing their personality, and not kind of spreading their message. And I think it's, if we could kind of take the next generation through, and show people like the opportunities available in fitness, that is, that's another little personal mission on my personal sort of pillars of what I want to do as well. We had PT Academy, or a local fitness training provider in Birmingham. Adam Kiani, I don't know if we spoke about him before. So he set up PT Academy. We've actually created a great link with those guys now. So they do open days at Just Move. They bring their students down to the gym. We show them a little bit about kind of our training style and our kind of methodology and our vision, but also to show people what is possible in the industry. It's not just having to be a PT on the gym floor or having to do like online fitness classes or whatever it might be. We can show them there's another route of like gym ownership, building teams, creating opportunities for other people in the industry. And again, I think if we can double down on that message, it's just really powerful for longevity and keeping good people in the industry if they see that there are these opportunities out there. So
awesome. So with with everything that you're kind of doing, if someone out there wants to reach out to you, are you open to assist people? Is there a certain program that you're running yourselves, or is it through other organisations at the moment? In
terms of the sort of coach and trainer side of things? At the minute, there's nothing concrete. I think it's all going to be, again, just, we've got this amazing space. we need to make it a hub for all these sort of activities. So at the minute, it's very much, we're working with PT Academy, but I've got a good personal network of different coaches around Birmingham as well. So we just want to get people in the room and just get people kind of, you know, supporting each other, helping each other out. There's no official avenue at the minute, but, we are going to, one of the next networking events that we do will be for people in the fitness industry to again, share that message of where your journey can take you. If you do have an interest in gym ownership, like what that looks like and the things you need to be aware of and all the kind of behind the scenes of owning the gym. Cause it's not all running programs and doing sessions. It's all the nitty gritty stuff of, you know, sometimes you are doing every role. You're cleaning down the stuff afterwards. You're painting the chips on the walls.
Someone's got to clean the toilet. Someone's got to like mop the floor.
Yeah.
And you don't think of that, do you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's all these behind the scenes bits, but it's all part and parcel of kind of the gym ownership world, but it's kind of showing the lows and the highs as well. Because I think again in this world, it's very easy to show all the highlights and all the things that go well.
Instagram world.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. But it's good to show people that, you know, it's so rewarding, but it's a long slog. It's tough hours. It's unsociable hours. So in the early days when you're doing everything, it's, you know, you have to really be able to kind of bite the bullet and kind of do all these different roles.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of longevity in it and a lot of enjoyment from it as well.
Brilliant. Mate, that's been absolutely fantastic. Just see your perspective from, like, obviously, because it's business at the end of the day, but it's to see it from your world, your perspective.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of similarities, but you're also going through a lot of different things with the actual service that you deliver. So hats off to you guys. It's a really good facility. So if you haven't seen their facility, you should get down there. We'll post links to the websites and stuff. You can go on there. You've got a lot of video content out there as well, haven't you? So
yeah. Again, we're trying to sort of get more content out on the Just Move Instagram page at the moment, because it's, again, I think we're just trying to relay that message over and over again, that fitness should be for everyone. Like the people that we work with, we have people that have been with us years that are kind of, you know, they do a bit more competitive fitness stuff, but equally we have people walk through the doors that have no experience or never trained a day in their lives. And it's important that we create that environment where we can customize it and modify it. I think you have.
It wasn't intimidating. So obviously I'm not an avid gym goer. I've been to a number of gyms in the past where you've got a membership, never go kind of thing. But believe it or not, I used to be a 100 metre, 200 metre relay runner when I was a kid as well. So I used to run for, but I was in the cadets. That was like my thing, the army cadets. And I used to run for the team on a regional. Then I went to nationals once as well for 100 metres and relay. But like you said, when I was 15, 16, after about 17, 18, finished cadets, and he just slips away. Yeah. You just get into bad habits, bad routines, and I've always been, I can run faster than some of the other dads at school kind of thing, but I'm not. It used to be, I think my best was, I'm trying to remember now, it's something like 22 on a 200.
Nice.
Because I could get some real speed around that bend. I love it. Like you probably just get adrenaline rush. Yeah. But then I think my 100 metres was 11.2 or 11.4.
I think mine was similar actually.
I was pretty quick in my prime. Yeah. But my friend's father, he used to be a PT instructor, and he saw me run. Yeah. And he said, if you were, because I was about 16 at the time, and he said, if you were younger, we could have really honed in on it, and you could have been a runner. Yeah, I think but he kind of said, like, you kind of a little bit. You got a few different passes. Yeah, he's 16, like, you can't quite get there.
Well, I think that's quite a bit of a passion and interest as well. Is we're actually looking to do a little bit of a summer camp. We've got a few of our members, their kids are running athletics at the minute, so we want to do like a bit of a summer camp of like kids' strength and conditioning and that side of things. Because
do you know what? Put my son down for that.
Yeah, it'd be
definitely.
Amazing.
He'd love it. Great. Yeah, he's been talking about it for, like I said before, he's been on at me, so
it'd be really
he'd love that. Yeah, so
because with I find in terms of with the industry, I think we're really far behind America. So America have these great strength and conditioning programs for kids from I think a lot of them start like maybe 8, 9, 10 years old now, right the way through like their college and high school careers. And they've just got this system down. It's become embedded in second nature. Yeah. And I think the UK is quite slow to catch up, but I think we are getting there. And, I think, you know, in terms of like just the other things in terms of like future sporting ability for like, you know, the national teams and stuff like that, if we can start this more grassroots coaching, it's going to be really powerful to be able to kind of get people into, you know, just learning about their body, learning about kind of coordination, strength, power, movement, and starting them young with the right way of doing things rather than just, going down a path of doing
Grand Theft
random
Auto
circuit.
and,
GTA.
Fortnite,
Exactly. Yeah.
Sitting there eating crisps and chocolate,
Yeah.
like they like to as well.
Yeah, so-
but I think you're right there. You got to have a balance, isn't it? You got to have a bit of that because you need to learn computer skills as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think again that's a big part of the Just Move approach in terms of like training, lifestyle, nutrition is. If your approach is a bit more flexible and not so hardcore, it's gonna stick with you.
Yeah,
so whether it is like down to the way you eat, it's not all like I think sometimes people like at the networking event we noticed people who come in and they were like, "Is it okay if I eat the cake?" I was like, "Go for it. It's all good."
You're going to judge me.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't. I didn't care.
But yeah, it's,
I like a bit of cake.
Yeah, that flexible approach, it works. It's if you can stay on track most of the time, you've got that little bit of flexibility and that leeway, and it makes life a lot easier to stick to.
Definitely. Fantastic. Mate, thanks so much. It's been brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed it as well.
Really good.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Right, see you soon.
See you soon. Yeah, it's been really great today. So thank you for Cameron and Morgan Reach TV for reaching out and just helping us share the journey of Just Move. So really looking forward to the episode coming live. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share Morgan Reach TV.
Hi everyone. Thanks so much for watching episode 45 today with the great Jamie from Just Move. That's been an absolutely fantastic episode for me. It's been very educational. I hope you found it the same. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. And please do look out for the new episodes which are hitting soon.